2012 is, well, pretty much half over. You know, here we are in June, so it's time for us to talk about the past 6 months, the first 6 months of the year thus far. Now, I know a lot of you have said a lot of words about the last couple of years, how I've said high things about an album, and then it ends up not being very high on the top 25 list at the end of the year. Well, of course, the reason for that is quite simple. It's because I don't know what the next 6 months have to behold. It's one of those things where you have to just wait and listen. However, what the purpose of this is to give you a top 10 list of the best albums of the year and top 5 of the worst as of right now, as though the year would be ending today. So it's time for us to do that, and we're going to do it a little bit differently. To kind of alleviate some of that whole, well, what about this album, and this album, and I do encourage your personal opinions, so don't get me wrong, I'm going to stick this to just albums that I have reviewed thus far this year, which gives us a pretty big pool, because I've reviewed probably about 60, or closer to 70. So let's get started. Enough filibustering around and being ridiculous. Let's go. Number 10, we're going to have Cannibal Corpse's Torture. This is a great return to form for the guys. I still love listening to the thump and bass on this record. Just absolutely fantastic. Just like with anything, I'm going to leave a review, or excuse me, a link to the reviews in the comment box of each and every one of these so you guys can check them out independently. Really enjoyed this record, and it's one that still hasn't left my CD player. You're going to notice that a lot with these. These are ones that are extremely memorable for me. Really enjoyed this. Let's go on to number 9. Number 9 is going to be Nia Blita with Portals of Eye. This is a great debut album, and one that really was turning a lot of heads about a month or so ago, and I finally got the opportunity to listen to it and review it, and I was blown away. Maybe I wasn't as blown away as everybody else was, maybe not to the same degree, kind of similar to the most recent Blackcore release, but this was one that really did turn my head a little bit. I found a lot of unique aspects about this. I found it to be an idea that has been done before. However, it's been done by this band in a much different way, and a very unique way, a very epic way. Really like the sound to it. Really enjoy what I heard, and looking forward to big things in the future from these guys. Number 8 is going to be Anathema with Weather Systems. Now, this was a really great cinematic album. It just really felt like I was living a movie, and it was very intensely personal, very touching at points. You know, I just really enjoyed this record. I was very high on it whenever I reviewed it, and I just continued to enjoy this album. The vocal performance is spellbinding. The instrumentalization is once again fantastic. This is a band that continues to impress me, and it's continued to impress a lot of different followers of the channel and fans abroad that maybe have never heard of me. Number 7, we have Swallow the Sun with Emerald Forest and the Blackbird. This is one from earlier in the year that has gotten a lot of positive attention, and it's rightfully deserved. This is done. This is doom slash, you know, melodic doom that's done in the proper format. Not to mention, it is just a fantastic collection of tracks. Really like the flow on this album. I really enjoyed just how overall this just really sets a mood and is able to reflect it musically as well as lyrically. Number 6 is going to be High on Fire with Die Vermis Mysterious. Love the fucking sludge. Loving how tracks like King of Days can really do not a lot. You know, it's really not a song that's all that, you know, complex musically, but at the same time can really hold so much goddamned power. And then the same band, you know, a couple tracks after or before that, is being extremely aggressive, almost thrashy in a sense. You know, they kind of are able to go from that speedy style down to something a lot slower, a lot more, you know, just sludgy and very thick. And that's what makes this a great album. That's what makes High on Fire quickly one of my most recent favorite bands. Really enjoyed this record. Love listening to this. Number 5 is Le Voyage de l'Âme by Alceste, or Alceste, all depending on how you like to say it. This is once again another one of those albums that's kind of like a cinemascope, almost like a soundtrack to reality. And the concept on this record is fantastic. Once again, the music is just beautiful. You know, you can call it what you want. You can call it post-metal. You can call it metal gaze. You know, you can call it just atmospheric metal. Whatever you wish to call it, whatever name you wish or genre you wish to derive it as, all it really is bar none, a fantastic release by, once again, a project that's just constantly shocking the world, and I really love it. Number 4, we have 5 by Woods of Eeps. Of course, the last album prior to the tragic death of David Gold. Now, this is an album that is very moody, very prophetic, and very profound. And the prophecy is, of course, in the fact that it seems almost like David himself was prophesizing his own demise prior to it occurring, which is kind of a creepy element to it. However, the music and the overall body of work is just something that is able to really set that that dark personality, that dark mood, and really reflect it very accurately. And you know, this is just one of those albums where this isn't even a vote that is based around the tragedy of his death. It is based around the fact that this album is that damn good. This is an album to pick up. This is an album that is also available at FYEs. So it's something that you can pick up even in your location, hopefully, if you have a store around you. If not, the internet is also a great tool. Definitely order it directly from the label. Number 3, we have Overkill, The Electric Age. It seemed like they wouldn't be able to, you know, surpass Ironbound, but they came awfully goddamn close. The Electric Age is a fucking amazing release. This is one that really just shows that Bobby Blitz Ellsworth is apparently ageless. He sounds just as good as he did in the, you know, the first part of the 1980s. Almost like he borrowed Marty's, you know, time machine and went back to 1981 and channeled that youthful energy and is able to bring it back to 2012 for this record. Just really love the sound. Thrashterpiece, Thrashterpiece, Thrashterpiece. But we're only at number 3. Number 2, Storm Corrosion, self-titled. Once again, big theme of this year is definitely soundtrack style albums. This one is very, very dark, kind of scary. This is mood music, one that you really want to be, you know, seated in a dark room that maybe is only lit by a candle, and you want to be listening to this either maybe on a pair of headphones, or maybe you want to listen to it at high volume and just kind of let the atmosphere of the music just wash over you. This is really, really good stuff. It's going to be extremely misunderstood. A lot of people will probably be like, wow, that's really, really high. But this is an album that, if understood, really, really just will spellbind you. Not to mention, will tell its story in a very subtle way, and it will chill you to the bone. Number 1, Creator's Phantom Antichrist. I told you, this is something that's going to be very unwavering. This sounds like the soundtrack to all of the different revolution, all of the different animosity and hatred that 2011 really boasted for a lot of different corners of the world. And it also seems like a fitting soundtrack for the upcoming anarchy, the upcoming revolution that may be occurring in other corners of the globe. It's also the perfect soundtrack for the animosity and the breeding hatred here in America toward the way things have gone, or over the potential of how things could go. There's a lot of different things that this album is, but it's also a thrashterpiece. The riffs are big, the melodies are huge, the vocals are astounding, everything about this clicks. It's a goddamn 10 out of 10 for Christ's sake. You can't get any higher than that, unless, of course, you're Spinal Tap. Now, it's time to talk about 5 pieces of gigantic shit. And I'm going to do this as quickly as humanly possible. Number 5, Adrenaline Mob, or Adrenaline Mob with Omerta. Mike Portnoy, 1 for 2. Flying Colors, yes. Adrenaline Mob, fuck you. Number 4, Pilgrim's Misery Wizard. Lulled me to sleep, almost, but not really. Really, really boring, boring, boring Funeral Doom. Number 3, Burzum, Umskatar. After 2 great return releases, this one just sucked. This one just plain out, flat out sucked. Varg, take a little bit more time. Number 2, Attack Attack, This Means War. No, this means this is a flying piece of shit album that nobody should really listen to. And of course, number 1, Immure, Slave to the Game, or as I like to call it, Slave to Absolutely Nobody, because this band sucks. Yeah. The hardest band on the planet? No. The lamest band on the planet that's trying to claim themselves to be the hardest band on the planet whenever they're just another breakdown deathcore band. That kind of sounds a little bit like Limp Bizkit. Yeah, it's more accurate. But not really even that, because this is just a fucking jumbled mess. Nothing about this is appealing. So yeah, biggest piece of shit, Immure. And just think, I'm not even talking about pop, ladies and gentlemen. I stuck strictly to metal. I should be given a goddamn medal. That's kind of funny. But there you have it. ladies and gentlemen, 2012 has been quite the year thus far, and of course, this all is subject to change once we reach December and the top 25 list. It's 25 in December as opposed to 10, which is what I did right now in June. So definitely keep your eyes and ears peeled, because the following 6 months that we're going to have, it's going to shake up that list, most definitely. And I will talk to you guys next time. I want to know about what some of your personal favorites have been so far this year, and some of the biggest flops, failures, pieces of crap that you have had the displeasure of listening to thus far this year. And also, what are some things that you would recommend to me that maybe I missed? I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks a lot.